This video is about the harvest, reproduction, resources, okay, fertility cults, occult, sex cult. Remember, O is symbolic of the winged disc of Ra. Okay, that's where the symbol comes from, the sun. Before it was a letter, it was the sun. They got it from nature. Okay, 360 degrees, reproduction. Okay, a revolution, if you will, a sexual revolution. Harvest. Whore, meaning face, thighs. Save Ra. When you have children, one of the things we look for is how the face resembles the parents in Western culture and other cultures as well. When we look at it backwards, right, the T is a feminine suffix. It can be removed. We get save Ra. We only really need to replace the E with an A. Save Ra. Remember, the H is the fence, but it doesn't change the phonetics or the sound. In the Bible, they talk about the reaper, the virgin brides being ready for Christ, right, with the candlestick metaphor or parable, what have you, okay? And this has everything to do with eugenics, social Darwinism, conceptions of white supremacy. Remember, heros means master, and who is seen as the hero is seen as the master. And in reality, who actually is the hero is the master. And this is where a lot of this confusion in martial arts comes in. So we look at human trafficking, right? Again, Ra, save Ra, harvest, right? Human trafficking, try-fucking, Ra-fucking. A lot of time with the wordplay, it lines up like a sentence or something. The trafficking can become try-fucking. We'll put it up here, and we put Ra-fucking, try-fucking, Ra-fucking, human trafficking, right? This is for the purpose of experiment in reproductive activities. The bishop, right? The buy shop, the Bible, buy the bowl, the T. It is an incomplete sword, or it is a sword striking the earth and killing the flesh. So now let's explore the questions that lead to understanding that this is hell, the Norse deity, the place, Hades, the deity, the place, Pluto, the rich, Orcus, having to do with oaths, oaths that can be broken by the sun. I am the blameless one. No oath that I make should be held against me. God tells me what to do. Okay, if I make an oath, chances are I'm trying to get a point across or try to do something, but ultimately I can redeem people of their oaths and so on. Orcus represents Hades and Pluto, right? These ideas that are mixed together. The rich cannot redeem you. They cannot free you from your oath, and they should not punish you for breaking your contracts. This is you submitting yourself, subjecting yourself to demonic punishment. So let's ask a series of questions, 10 questions, that when you explore it, lead us to the answer that this is hell and life is not worth living. What is love? Love is God first, then all of humanity, then the family. People put the family first, the nation first, their gang first, etc. It's a mistake. Write this down, explore it. I don't have much time. Let's go through these questions and talk about conceptions of manhood, the New World Order, how we know these conspiracy theorists are liars because they give us Christian propaganda at times, which doesn't definitively show us the true order, and they don't question the order, nor do they question reproduction enough, which is the whole purpose, which is the core of the New World Order. Number one, who has beautiful women? Who has attractive women, right? All these questions are who, what, when, where, how, why. Save time, I'm not going to say all those things with each question. Number two, what is a good woman? Right? All these things, when you explore them, should lead you to this is hell. That's why people see things a certain way, and what these things actually are supposed to be gives away it is hell. Right? Who, what, when, where, how, why. Number three, how do criminals justify sin? Number four, why are things working like this? These are good questions. Why do the good die young? Okay. Number five, what does it really mean to decide in your heart to be evil? Number six, how much should one compromise their integrity to support their loved ones? Now think about the Obama confusion and the white anger, right? White frustration, and the Trump being elected afterwards, right? Obama did not show us that this is the end of racism or we've been making progress. He made it clear that the New World Order and America intends to have a propaganda campaign that shows fake progress in regards to black people. They're emasculating them. They're holding them down more, and they're going to use advances in technology and surveillance to harass them more. COINTELPRO has gotten worse and not better, and Obama is symbolic of that. He is not me, and he is not Martin Luther King. Okay, so what is it, this question has everything to do with Trump's election and so on and so forth. Number 7, what does the Obama deception show us about fake progress? Number 8, this is a $1 million question perhaps. What does political, financial, moral, religious, and social judgment tell us about society's collective reproductive judgment? Number 9, how long has it been like this? Number 10, how many people are involved? Okay, who are the true deviants, in other words, right? People, I go as far as to say I'm the only true deviant, because if it is worldly, it is acceptable and compatible with the New World Order. They're going to find a way to leverage that. If you aren't willing to die, putting God and all of humanity before your family and yourself, right, they've already got you. That's why everyone is falling in line. They don't put God first. They don't value the spirit of God in their family more than the flesh. And as a result, they fall in line. And this is also what the war on terror is about. It is about the occult symbol, like the Aryan Brotherhood and the Satanists pointing down, the pentagram, versus the Muslims pointing up. It is about stigmatizing those who put God above humanity and their family and their country. And communism is about putting humanity first, but not God. And capitalism and republicanism is about putting a twisted idea of God and your family above humanity. Okay. It's one way to simplify it. I'm running out of time. I'm sure you know exactly what I mean. At least I would hope. So think about the idea of pinpointing. Remember, my argument in martial arts is far superior to every other martial artist. It is the hero emerging, is the only true worthy master. Okay, it is martial arts for war skills. Mars, the arts of war. The art of war in Mars' temple, I believe, are inferior to the martial arts that were done by the Africans, because Mars, they used armor. Okay, they didn't put the focus on this kind of jungle, refined, sensitive to danger, sensitive to injustice, focused righteous indignation, touching on the true spirit of God and letting God refine your vision through the divine order to understand timing and speed, when to act, who, what, when, where, how, and why. I'll put some memes at the end to help you understand that point. Moving on. So in Western culture, the military is given us as the idea as the highest conception of masculinity in regards to violence, in regards to martial arts related activities and so on and so forth. It is the military. It is the special forces, something to this effect, the Navy SEALs perhaps, the main Navy SEAL, the Navy SEAL captain or whatever, right? The commanding officer or something to this effect, right? Experience, right? Gear, technology. Remember, figure has the word gear in it when you apply wordplay, okay? N-word, no gear, right? Of the N-word, it is Niger and Nigeria, where my family comes from, the heart of Africa, the most populated country in Africa, right? That's what they're referring to. Don't look at the Nigerians as the master race. They don't have gear. In Africa, everyone there who's being honest knows that Nigerians are the most masculine. They are the most proficient, the most intense Africans. Somalians and all these people, they don't compare. They're skinny, okay? They're weaker. They don't have a martial arts form. The Nigerian who takes the time to forge a leopard body outmaneuvers the bigger, stronger ones and stabs them definitively. Everyone should understand that in Africa. If they don't, their martial arts are so inferior, you shouldn't listen to them in terms of martial arts if they don't understand that. And of them, Igbos are the bell that rings the loudest. Perhaps it was the Yorubas or the Fulanis that took on the government by themselves with inferior gear. Boko Haram has superior weapons, not inferior weapons. The argument is no gear, not superior gear. That's what they're mad about. How could you not come to that conclusion? The Igbos are the bell that rings the loudest, mind, body, soul, and the spirit of righteousness. Not the complicity like we saw with the Yorubas and the Fulanis and all them, with all due respect. You contributed to the mass murder of Igbos. There is no coming back from that. There is no superior martial arts argument from that point. You may as well suck off your globalist masters, one could argue. I wouldn't perhaps go that far myself, but perhaps that should be the argument. It remains to be seen how they will respond to my attempt to take my rightful place. Will they give it to me, or will they continue the disgrace they started before the Nigerian Civil War that was really exemplified by the Nigerian Civil War by not standing with Igbos? That remains to be seen. That goes for all Africans, it goes for all people. They all sat there sucking a goat dick while God's chosen were being massacred, raped, and killed. And starved, mind you. Starved when their images were all over the TV screen. They were sucking goat dick and letting Christians get murdered by worldly scum and Muslim fanatics. I don't want to hear any Western, moral superior argument from the West after that. You have proven that you are corporatist trash. You cannot come back from that. You will not come back from that. You should put your hands over your mouths and be silent and let God's chosen lead. Disgraceful. Yes, you are void of the Spirit of God. Who could miss that? Who could miss that without even bringing up the Nigerian Civil War? Without even knowing about it? Anyway, so we look at military discipline, weaponry, murder, and tactics. This also plays out in the ethnic gang world. Some gangs are seen as larger and more effective. They have superior tactics. It overlaps with drug cartels, perhaps. Okay, drug cartels are proxy organizations, for, working with other organizations like the Colombians, the Russians, and so on and so forth. Okay. So when we look at the military, why does their argument fail? Well, it fails because of the 18-year-old gay guys and the females in the military. These are nerds that have been taught to fire weapons. Oh, cool, bro. Right? It is what you should have known already being highlighted why you're wrong. You couldn't possibly be the more masculine when you are not going against the grain. Is the guy who takes on the whole army by himself more masculine, or the guys who have the upper hand yawning like, yeah, you see that? Yeah, bro. Yeah, we have the upper hand. We're the big dicks swinging. It's fucking stupid if you see it that way. You are crazed, deranged, and sick. You should shut the fuck up. You should be sterilized with that mentality. You can't even see that. There's a lack of stigma. They don't have to face the same obstacles, which starts with the word OB, right? OB meaning king, heart, and temple. It can also mean O for the reproductive cycle and the people who are trying to be that, using magic and treachery. Illusion, ill-gotten gains, Iliad, Iliad, Greco-Roman, rape cult culture. It starts with the storm god and the guardian of the tablets of destiny, etc. And Lil, and the god of mischief and water and crafts and fertility, Enki.
I'm sorry, but your father's chomping the bit and just saying, could I find out what's holding up in my
All right, bear it down.
Sorry.
All right, so basically, the highest form of masculinity has to do with single combat of the chiefs in the martial arts societies, as I pointed out in the book, Fighting for Honor. Do I have it? Okay, I have a page for it. It's 162, or excuse me, 193. Okay. In some kind of hand-to-hand combat weapon form, we see this in the movies. This sometimes takes on a military form. Okay, but obviously it ends after I die because of ill-gotten gains, technology, treachery, cheating, and so on and so forth. Drugs, performance enhancing drugs, performance reducing drugs, etc. Think about masculinity as it relates to combat. Look at the movies. Okay, the movies proves my point on this issue as well. Right? It's impressed even in Western culture that that's the highest form of masculinity. So as people team up with the eugenic organizations and the state, their masculinity is actually reduced, right? Who, what, when, where, how, and why. So when we look at in popular culture, black people are seen as the most masculine, but they try to combat this by saying they're savage and some human. As blacks seek to find their way higher up into society and to be accepted in more neighborhoods to combat redlining and gentrification, they are giving up their masculinity, embracing homosexuality and feminist narratives of gender relations. So ultimately, what we're going to see in the future is one of two things: blacks being savages, accepting the savage role and accepting second-class citizenship in that manner, or they're going to accept second-class masculinity and have sold their soul. Right? The soul, the sun, meaning sun, is a symbol of masculinity. Pan, nap, it means bread in Spanish. Right? It goes back to the harvest. The harvest. The pagan harvest, the Christian harvest, is about harvesting women.